Hi guys, it's me again. Thank you all so much for watching the video that I posted a few days ago about the proper way to sing. It was really cool to see how many of you had opinions about the things that we discussed and about whether there is snobbery and misconceptions around there being a right and wrong way to sing. It was really nice to get all your feedback on that. And a few of you have since, I've talked to people kind of in person and I've had messages from people since, and there were some comments as well on the video about diets and about how the things that singers need to do to take care of their voices. So I did start to kind of write it all in a blog, but I love writing, but I spend such a long time on it that I've got about 10 unfinished blog posts on my laptop somewhere, and I just thought, I'm going to sit here and chat to you all about it now instead, and then maybe one day I'll actually get around to writing a blog post. So something I hear often is that singers shouldn't eat dairy, or at least before they sing you definitely shouldn't eat dairy, is what I hear a lot. And people say it's because it makes your body create mucus. And I definitely have bought into that one myself at times, and I've definitely eaten chocolate or drank milk and felt the need to clear my throat a little bit afterwards. However, this is actually a concept that has been researched, and there is no scientific evidence to suggest that dairy is bad for singers and that it does create more mucus. I think that what I do know is that it may create the feeling of more mucus temporarily, but that it doesn't actually make you create more mucus, and it shouldn't have any detrimental impact on your singing unless you're lactose intolerant. So the main thing that I think that singers need to understand is to approach these things with a healthy dose of common sense. There aren't rules as to what singers should and shouldn't do. Let's just kind of be real for a moment and remember that we're all people and we're all so different, and we all have different tolerances for food and drink and lifestyle, and that is going to come into our singing. It's not suddenly different once we start to sing that singers shouldn't do certain things according to a rule book. You have to really invest time in getting to know what you and your body can tolerate. So if you're somebody who can't tolerate dairy, then you're not going to want to eat or drink dairy prior to a gig, are you? Because you could be feeling ill, you may well have a sore throat, whatever like the effect that dairy has on you, you don't want to risk experiencing whilst you're doing a gig or a recording session. So another thing is if you know that there are foods that you have an adverse reaction to, or that just don't quite agree with you, don't have them the day, week, whatever of an important gig or recording session. So that being said, there are some things that science does know about what singers should and shouldn't do, or may be prone, things that could affect the singing voice badly. So there is something called silent acid reflux, which is where acid from your stomach manages to creep back up and touch your vocal folds. And this actually affects a lot more singers than you might expect, because it can, the fact that it's called silent means that there are no symptoms. You won't have pain, you won't experience heartburn. You just will have had a little bit of acid touch your vocal folds, which is gross, and then leaves it kind of red and swollen and much more difficult to sing. So that's something that singers are prone to. Something that people in general are prone to, but that may affect singers more because it's touched your vocal folds. So things like spicy foods, things like acidic foods, caffeine, they can they can be triggers for acid reflux. That's not to say everyone will get it, but these are things to bear in mind. So just know there's not this isn't me saying singers shouldn't drink caffeine, shouldn't eat spicy food. You need to test these things for yourself and find out if they affect your voice. And if they do, avoid them. Another thing to know is with regards to water. So I think a lot of my students get annoyed with me going on and on and on about how much water you need to drink. But water is so vital to a healthy body, and your voice is your instrument is your body. So to have a healthy voice, you really need to be well hydrated. Let me just move the camera a little bit so I can show you what I'm talking about better. So you may or may not already know this, the vocal folds vibrate like this. They do this. And if your vocal folds aren't well hydrated, they're going to be red and swollen, and they're going to vibrate and kind of collide against each other, cause friction, and leave you potentially more prone to injury and vocal fatigue, lacking stamina. So water is such an important one for singers. But the thing to know is that when we sip water, when we drink water, it doesn't actually touch your vocal folds. There's something called the epiglottis that when we swallow, it covers up your vocal folds so you don't choke. So that the water itself does not touch them. It has to go through your whole body and hydrate you systemically the way that the rest of the body gets hydrated. So if you're sipping water during a gig or during a recording session, you're not really hydrating yourself at the time. It's going to take 2 to 4 hours to have any effect. So you need to be sipping water regularly throughout the day in order for it to have any positive effect on your voice. So water is probably the only one where I can say there is a rule. You must drink lots of water if you're going to sing regularly and consistently throughout the day, not just during the time when you are singing. If any of you have any questions or any other specific myths you might have heard about singing and diet, there are a lot of them, and I'm not going to go into all of these in this quick video. Please either message me or ask a question in the box. I think Caroline's here, and I've got 2 people watching. So if any of you have any questions, please shove them in the box, and I'll try and cover it. Let me give you all a minute. No, cool. So let me know if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about in future videos. Happy to. I actually really enjoy doing these. Yeah, leave me a comment, send me a message, tell me in person, and I will try and get on here and have a chat about it. Cool. Bye everyone, enjoy the rest of your day.